Daniel loved antiques, especially old mirrors. His small apartment overflowed with these antique reflections. On a cold Saturday, Daniel visited his favourite flea market. He ran his hand over a chipped vase, its painted flowers faded by time. Then something shimmered in the corner of his eye. It was a Victorian-era mirror, its ornate frame made of dark, heavy wood. The stall owner, a wrinkled old man, watched him with wise eyes. "Interested in that one, are you?" he said in a raspy voice. "£5 and it's yours." Ignoring the man's words, Daniel bought the mirror. He carried his prize home, eager to see it restored to its former glory. Back in his apartment, Daniel carefully cleaned the mirror. As he worked, the silver backing slowly began to shine. It was like looking into a pool of liquid darkness. He hung the mirror on the living room wall, its presence immediately dominating the space. For a moment he thought he saw a movement in the reflection. "Just my imagination," he muttered. Days turned into weeks. Daniel couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Sometimes he saw his reflection moving slightly out of sync with him. He began to have nightmares, vivid dreams where he was trapped in a mirrored maze. He would wake up in a cold sweat, his heart pounding. The mirror stood out in the darkness, its surface an impenetrable black void. Daniel's behavior became increasingly erratic. He was withdrawn, his eyes constantly drawn to the mirror. His friends noticed the change in him. "Are you okay, man?" they'd ask. He'd force a smile, assuring them he was just tired. The incidents with the mirror increased. He swore he heard whispers coming from it, faint and indistinct. At night, the shadows within the mirror seemed to writhe and twist. He tried to ignore it, but deep down he knew the truth. The mirror was alive. One night, Daniel woke up from a particularly vivid nightmare. The room was filled with an unnatural chill. The mirror glowed faintly, a soft pulsating light emanating from its depths. He thought he saw a figure forming in the reflection, tall and skeletal, its eyes burning like embers. The figure in the mirror drew closer, its form solidified, taking on a horrifying resemblance to Daniel himself, yet distorted and grotesque. Daniel stumbled back, his hand instinctively reaching for the light switch. As his fingers touched the switch, the mirror shattered. A deafening crack echoed through the room as shards of glass exploded outwards. Daniel screamed, shielding his face as a wave of energy hit him. Then everything went dark. When Daniel awoke, he was on the other side of the mirror. He saw himself, or rather the creature that had been lurking in the reflection, staring back at him. Trapped, Daniel could only watch in horror as his doppelganger took his place in his life. He was a prisoner in his own reflection, his screams silenced by the unyielding glass. The old man's words echoed in the chilling silence. "Looks can be deceiving."